and Civil City Attorney Department. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. I forgive you, Margaret. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Thank you for my time. God bless you. God bless America. And please take these grievances seriously as the First Amendment dictates that you should. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. That clears the public comment list.
Okay, so we are now closing public comment. Colleagues, I ask that we take item 4 on consent, 3 be continued until someone at the city attorney's office can appropriately send us a representative, and that we have a presentation from for items 1 and 2. Mr. Litt, can you please call the roll on the consent item?
Sure. Councilmember Padilla?
Yes.
Councilmember Hernandez?
Yes.
Councilmember Hutt?
Yes.
Okay, item 4 is approved.
And for item 3?
It's a continuation. You don't need to take a vote on that.
Okay. All right, then next can we proceed with item 1?
Sure. Item number 1, Department of General Services report and ordinance relative to the sale of property located at 710 East 111th Place, Los Angeles, California, 90059, APN 6071-022-902, pursuant to Government Code Section 54221, to Kedron Community Health, Inc.
Okay. Thank you for being here. Please give us just a general summary and update of what your item is, please.
Can you hear me? Okay. Amy Benson, I'm the Director of Real Estate for the Department of General Services. Before you, you have a report, which is really just the ordinance. This committee approved the council, this committee and council approved the report for the transfer of the property to Kedron in September 26th of 23. This is just, like I said, to pass the ordinance, which is the next step in this process. This will effectuate the transfer to Kedron. So just a little quick background, this property was actually owned by Kedron back in the 60s. It was transferred to the city to comply with some federal block grant fund provisions. We entered into a 50-year agreement with Kedron for $1 a year. The improvements on the property are owned by Kedron. Their new grant funds require them that they own the property. So that's what this transfer is for. They do provide mental health services to the community. And with me, I have Randall Keene from Annette Phelps, who can answer questions about the types of services that they provide to the community.
Good afternoon, council members.
Can you pull it towards
Certainly, or I can scoot forward.
the mic? Just
Put the mic closer to you.
yeah.
Great. So just a quick overview. This is an amazing project that Kedron has received $150 million in grants from the BCHIP program and also from the Innovations Funding Program through the county and the state. They're going to build a 44-bed mental health hospital for children. It's the first in the nation of its kind. It'll provide inpatient and outpatient services to children who are having mental health issues. It's an amazing facility. We're going to be doing groundbreaking in a couple months. We hope you all can come, and also hope you all be there for the grand opening. It's going to be just a fantastic addition for this neighborhood and for this area.
Council colleagues, any questions? No questions. Okay, well, thank you for that. I just wanted to hear a little bit about it. I think this will suffice, and I will say that this is exactly the sort of thing that I wish our city would do more of, right? Is when it comes to the real estate capacities, that we work with those organizations that are really going to do something good, and we could create good contracts with that being said. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Okay. Can we call the roll?
Sure. Councilmember Padilla?
Yes.
Councilmember Hernandez?
Yes.
Councilmember Hutt?
Yes.
That matter is approved.
Okay, I believe we now can move on to item 2.
Item 2, Municipal Facilities Committee report relative to proposed no-cost license agreement with Los Angeles Police Revolver Athletic Club to use a portion of the Elysian Park Gymnasium located in Council District 1 for the Los Angeles Police Department's virtual reality training program.
Hello, please proceed. You see You're all getting settled. So when you're ready.
Good afternoon, committee members. My name is Lisa Schechter. I'm from GSD Real Estate. And joining me today is LAPD Captain Offenberg, as well as Officer Tombar and Chris Porter. The report for consideration today is to seek approval to negotiate and execute a new license agreement with the LA Police Revolver and Athletic Club for LAPD's continued use of the Elysian Park Gym for the virtual reality training program. The Los Angeles Police Revolver and Athletic Club currently operates under a ground lease agreement at the Los Angeles Police Academy in Elysian Park. It's under this agreement, it allows the Los Angeles Police and Revolver and Athletic Club to manage and maintain the facilities, including the gym, pool, shooting range, as well as other recreational and athletic resources utilized by LAPD personnel. In 2019, California Senate Bill 230 was enacted requiring law enforcement agencies throughout the state to provide mandatory use of force and de-escalation training. In response to SB 230, a 3-year no-cost license agreement with the Los Angeles Police Revolver and Athletic Club was executed to facilitate the necessary virtual reality training program. Currently, this agreement expires in February of 2025. The proposed licensed agreement is for zero rent, a 3-year term with no options to extend. Either party, the city or the Los Angeles Police Revolvers Club, may terminate the license upon a written day notice. LAPD is seeking approval for the new 3-year license agreement with the Police Revolvers Club while they explore the feasibility of constructing a new facility dedicated to the department's virtual reality training program.
Very good. Thank you for doing a report on all of the technicality things related to this item. If somebody can maybe tell us a little bit about how what the program is itself, what it entails, that would be great for the record.
Good afternoon. I'm Officer Tombar. So what the virtual reality program is, it's not a training in itself. It's a tool to actually facilitate other trainings. So for example, one of the trainings that we do provide is the mental health intervention techniques training, in which there is live actors that come out and role play, meeting the SB 230 standards. Starting 2025, SB 230 requires all officers to go through use of force perishable skills trainings. It's 4 hours of use of force and 2 hours of strategical communication. So the mental health intervention course actually provides those hours for the officers. So within virtual reality, they're able to conduct these scenarios that are required by the state. For example, one of the scenarios that they used to do was a suicidal subject. They would use a picnic bench to recreate as if that individual was jumping off a building. Now, in virtual reality, we can put any officer in any facility in the city. We actually have 3. We have Venice Beach, Hollywood, and the downtown Skid Row area that are recreated for LAPD. So that's one of the trainings. We also do a facilitated discussion training, which is where we recreate, for example, tinnitus. Some officers don't understand what tinnitus is, never, experienced it, so we can recreate that. Glaucoma. We can recreate what does stemming look like as in someone that is with autism. So these officers go through these scenario-based facilitated discussion type trainings, and they're able to experience that for themselves.
Please, if you guys are done, we're ready for questions. Were you have a question?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was out of turn.
No, it's okay. Is that it? Was there anything else you were going to add?
We do that's just one example of the type of trainings that we provide.
Okay. Okay, then let's open up to questions. Go for it. No problem.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you. I just have a couple of questions about the training. Is it
Hold on, time out. One more outburst. This is your first warning. One more and you're out. Well, he technically got 1. So he's at 1. So he's at 2. You're at 1. Yes, you are at 2. Stop. Yeah, stop. All right. Please proceed.
Thank you.
Okay, and I've mentioned that gestures were part of it, so you know what? That last gesture is 2. One more, and you're both out of here. So please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm interested in
3. You're out, Spindler. You're out. Yeah, you know what you did. I mentioned behavior. Those fingers were inappropriate. That's 3. Please get him out. You're out too.
It's protected speech, ma'am. It's protected speech.
But it's disruptive.
Not actually disruptive.
It is, because it's very distracting to those of us that have to see you and take our presentation serious. You're both out of here.
F-U-C-K.
You think that matters to me? Please
Yes, it does.
leave.
C-K-P-A.
It's not an actual disruption.
L-A.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Please
This
leave
is-
this building.
This is an actual disruption. If you don't stop, you can be removed from the meeting.
You're both out.
Wait, she just said,
You're out.
you said it was a warning. The city attorney lady just said it
No,
was.
she didn't.
But you're continuing.
You're out.
I'm not continuing anything.
You have good days and you have bad days. You just messed up. Please leave.
No, I messed up, huh?
You messed up.
You're gonna use a gymnasium you could be using for disabled children for these guys to teach people.
You had your chance to say that in public comment.
Right?
Please leave.
So why the fuck do you do that, you missus?
Fuck you.
You're the goddamn defund the police.
You're a
and
cunt.
Little Miss Fair, okay?
F-U-C-K.
But you feel
Y-O-U.
it's appropriate to do this kind of shit to people who speak at these fucking meetings, right? You're no better than them. You're no better.
You want to violate our Constitution, you're gonna have the. You're
Can
gonna
someone
have this kind of
please turn off
behavior.
that microphone?
You can throw the public out all you want. The FBI is still going to continue to indict 4 of you on the council. Don't you understand that? That's the sticks and stones. That's not sticks and stones. That's 20 years in the fucking pen, okay? Don't do shit like this.
I know all about the pen. Please proceed. He is. Please proceed.
Oh, I was asking a
Sorry,
question.
yes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I just wanted to ask about, is there cultural competency involved in this kind of training?
Great question.
I'm sorry.
Is there cultural competency involved in this kind of training?
In the mental health intervention techniques?
Correct.
I can't speak to the mental health, the full training in itself. The only thing we provide for the mental health intervention technique training is the scenario-based training within virtual reality. That course is a week-long course, and that course is put on by a different cadre. Our cadre is assigned to the virtual reality system.
And then is it mandatory, or is it
The mental health training is mandatory by the state.
regardless of how long you've been
An officer,
sworn?
yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chairwoman. So this is, the motion is to enter into another 3 years, right? Can you describe the impact that the first 3 years have had on the behavior, action, responses of your members? Has it made them better? Have we seen less people getting killed, less incidents of harm and violence?
I can't speak to the numbers as far as I can only speak and attest to what the officers have come back and talked to us about. A lot of officers do say it is as close as to reality as we can get. We've not only put officers through, we've also put community members through. We had our first Native American Police Citizens Academy. They actually came back twice, and we've heard nothing but positive feedback from them as well. So what she asked me to do is explain what our process is. So what it is we bring in, whether it's officers or a group of civilian citizens, dispatchers, whatever it is, we bring those people into virtual reality. We sit down and we ask, what are their learning objectives? What are their learning goals? What are they trying to get out of this training? We set it up. We put them through whichever scenario based is. They're actually dealing with live actors. So they're dealing with one of the instructors. So as instructors and as an actor, I know the goals that I'm trying to get out of said student. So as they're going through these scenarios, everything is uploaded per se to the system. After the scenario is over, we are able to go back, rewatch what the officers or the students per se did, and we can debrief that. We can talk about what are the goods, what are the bads, what did we learn, and we can also put them back in that same scenario and learn from our mistakes or take from some of the good, hey, I'm going to continue doing X, Y, Z. So now I actually taught what is law enforcement and tactics. It was a LETAC class. This was outside scenario based. It was very difficult to come back and show officers or show students, this is what you did, this is what you didn't do. Now within virtual reality, they're able to see their own actions and able to hear some of the things that they said, didn't say, or little clues that they didn't pick on. They're able to see that and kind of self-correct on themselves.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And my question now is, can we demonstrate through data that this new training that we've been using for 3 years has had an impact on the way that LAPD responds to situations? Is there comparative data to show that this has been a value added, or is it all anecdotal and it's not documented?
Hi, I'm Captain Offenberg. So what I can tell you about the virtual reality is, while we can't associate it specifically right now, we absolutely could do a review and get back to you on that. But what I can tell you is it's designed to modify behavior and to see if the officers or the people that actually participate in the training come out of it with better skills, such as de-escalation. We have a de-escalation lab. We run our probationers through it after the first year to let them see what they actually are doing so that they can modify it, because you don't always realize your reaction time was this, or you saw this, or you didn't even notice this. So it is to modify behavior for the better, to instill de-escalation techniques, to instill different critical thinking options. And so, yes, overall, I do believe it has made a difference, but to be able to give you data right now, I don't have that.
Thank you. And City Attorney, a quick question.
Yes.
If that was a desire of mine to take action on having LAPD report back on an analysis on the impact of the program the first 3 years and come share that, would that be through a motion, amendment, or how would we move on that?
You can ask them to do a report back with that information, and then it can be re-agendized for another meeting.
Beautiful. Chairwoman, is that okay if I make that ask? Thank you. I would like to make that ask. I'll vote yes, but I would like to see that data and that analysis to show that this benefit is actually a benefit to the community, and especially because we're mandated by state law to take action. I think any opportunity to try to prevent loss of life is important. So I would ask that we put the request to get a report back on that analysis, please. Thank you. Thank you, Chairwoman. That's all my questions.
So the reason why I wanted a presentation on this is because I know that given the jurisdiction of this committee, it's easy for us to say, this is city to city, let's just rubber stamp it. But it just sounded incredibly innovative to me. So I wanted to learn more about it. And I just kind of want to be able to visualize what happens here. So this is at Elysian Park. And my questions are, how often do the trainings happen? How many police officers go? And I know you mentioned that it's been utilized. You've given us some examples related to how it's used to support deliverables and things related to mental health. But I guess my question is this a new tool, something that is the future of how you train? Is in this scenario so that at least you can virtually, feel like you're in the action?
Yes, we actually also have our geomapping team working hand in hand with our supervisor, my sergeant, for the 2028 Olympics. They're going out and scanning possible venues for some of the sports, and this is something where officers, they now can train if need to react or respond to a critical incident. Officers can train in that venue virtually versus shutting that venue down. For example, shutting down AEG LA Live, it's logistically difficult to shut down and have officers go in and train. So now they're recreating and scanning. These are actually 2-scale scans. So the table will be at the table height. Everything is 2 scans. So back rooms, for example, this room would be exactly the same. Officers can come and train appropriately for whatever it is the training requires.
How often are they and how many officers go?
So year to date, we have approximately 2,000 officers that have gone through the virtual reality system, and that's within different trainings in itself. My unit in itself has a course, it's called Virtual Reality Use of Force Case Law. That's heavy on case law and de-escalation. We have approximately 1,000 officers year to date that have gone through that course, which again, that is a mandated state course. For mental health intervention techniques, I can't give you the number, but it's up there. I would say about
2 to 3 times a month, about 25.
Yeah.
A class.
Yeah.
Okay.
We hold our course 7 times a month. Our virtual reality use of force course 7 times a month. It's a 10-hour or it's a 9-hour course. Like Captain said, we have the mental health. That's 3 days out of the month. We also have our police science and leadership course. They're there. These are the probationary officers that come back just before they get off probation. They're there 2 days out of the month for 4 hours with us. We get them half and half. We've actually put, I would say maybe 5 to 6 supervisor schools. Those are soon to be sergeants. And we had our first command development course just go through 2 weeks ago. Those are our captains, I believe.
Yes, so our command development, instead, again, like she was saying, either shutting down a venue or saying, okay, we're going to pretend, actually can put future captains through events. How would we like you to handle it? How would the community like to see you handle it? So that when you go through it, you all collaborate afterwards. Oh my gosh, I could have done that different. So we're hoping that's a new tool for our command staff as well, which we're trying to develop also a command staff crowd control for the future events coming up, whether it be the World Cup or the 2028 Olympics or anything, Dodger Stadium or the Dodger win, right? So again, it's to keep us all updated and current. And the best way to do that is if we can immerse each other in an environment that will give you more of a mental memory of what you did, kind of like that muscle memory. And it's the new way of training, especially for our new generation coming on. They learned from video games, right? That's what they do. So they assimilate with this a lot better.
Okay, one more question. I have one as well. Go ahead.
Okay.
Well, my question is, I want to make sure so your police officers come into Elysian Park, into the facility, and I'm assuming they're with goggles to see the virtual. And then you have a team. And now this is a great item for government operations because it's where leasing meets our technology role out of this committee, right? So I'm assuming that all of the technology related to the simulation is within the goggles?
Yes.
Okay, and you have a team at LAPD specifically working on continuously upgrading that so that it's as accurate as possible? That's fascinating. Okay, question?
Thank you. So if I heard correctly, you said you have about 25 people going in. How many times a month for the mental health class?
Usually 2 to 3.
So 2 to 3 per month?
Yes, and each little session can only accommodate 10 per session at one time. So it's better than having where you, like traditional training, maybe have 2 people go through. We can have a whole entire unit go through as if it was a big scale event. Mm-hmm. So with with the MHIT, the mental health intervention techniques, we are able to do 10 at a time, as with any of the other training with virtual reality.
Great, thank you. Under the new Senate bill, are we required to have a certain percentage of the membership trained, or a certain requirement of you have to train this many people by this amount of time? Are there any requirements like that?
Go ahead. All officers are required. It's a 2-year cycle, so every 2 years, all officers are required to meet a certain mandate. I think the hours are 24 hours. 4 of those hours being use of force. They have to be scenario based. 2 of those hours are strategical communication, and all officers are required per the state, the new Senate Bill SB 230.
Thank you.
And that's not to say that everyone gets to go through virtual reality, because we just don't have enough time and trainers to do so. So they have to do it in a different way. So they all have to comply within the 2 years. those fortunate enough to get to go through the virtual reality, just get a more immersed version of it.
Great, thank you. And is there any plan to, two questions. I just want to say them out
Keep
loud before I
going. We're
forget.
fine.
Is there any plan to add more opportunities for this particular training? Is my question, then I'll remember the second one. Sorry, forgot. Sorry.
Well, we would love to add a bunch more. Again, personnel constraints and financial constraints, but yes, we are looking at trying to move the virtual reality into its own building one day so that we are not confined by sharing the space with our current friends at LAPRAC, because they also have events. So we try to share as best we can, and we are also limited to the number of staff that we have that can accommodate the training. But yes, we would love to.
Okay, got it. And thank you for that. What percentage of all the trainings right now around mental health do you think is virtual reality and with your members?
I'm sorry, say that again?
What percentage of your membership that goes through the training gets access to the virtual reality when you look at that spectrum?
Over the last 3 years, offhand, I would say maybe a third overall of our department. I would say if you want exact numbers, we actually could give that to you if we want to add that to the follow-up.
That'd be great.
Yes, please, especially because the conversation is that in the future you do want a facility. That costs capital, that costs money, that costs resources, bonds, all the things. And we're essentially going to be in red probably for the next few budget cycles. So I think that if this is something that you all plan to grow, you need to prove that it works. So just please be ready for that next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I
Thank you,
just
Joan.
have one more question. Well, since you're a trainer and you are going through these steps with our officers, and then they are able to review themselves in those scenarios, are they coming back and retraining for that specific scenario? And then do you see a difference in their reactions?
Yes, we definitely do see a difference in after they review themselves. There's times, if time again allotted, we will put them back in that same scenario and allow them to fix whatever mistakes or even take some. The also great thing about that tool is as a set of officers are going through the scenarios, we have the other half actually watching the officers. So they're also learning and taking from what other officers are doing or not doing. So when it's time for them to go through their scenario, they're picking up on those cues that maybe they lacked on that first scenario.
That's fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for clearing it up for me. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Of course. Okay, well, thank you so much for this presentation. This is something that I find very fascinating and hope that it's something that, if we can in time see that it is a better, more effective way to create better police officers, that it is something that, future generations, even council members after my time, consider something to expand. Because we're always about making our city family a lot better. So thank you for this presentation. I don't have any more questions. So I believe we can proceed with the vote. Thank you. Thank you.
Very good.
It's a beautiful read. Oh, thank you. That's my type. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, Councilmember Padilla?
Yeah.
Councilmember Hernandez?
Yes.
Councilmember Hutt?
Yes.
Okay, this matter is approved as amended.
Okay, do we have anything else on the table?
That
Everything
clears
else
the desk.
That clears the desk. Thank you all. This meeting is adjourned at 2:50.